Hello, I'm Kigan. I need to revisit the topic of fear because it yet again has come and needs to be discussed. I don't want to freak you out, but that time when my owner master was writing the tree poem that Matthias was reading, before that, a couple of hours before that, she woke up around 3:11, and then she went to sleep. And then when she woke up at like 6 o'clock, I think it was, or something like that, she ended up writing those 3 specific poems. And that was interesting. And also, I'm going to be reading the 3rd poem. Matthias read the first 2 poems. Matthias read were the first 2 she had. And then I'm going to be reading the 3rd one. And the interesting thing is, my song on this CD is the 11th track. So, I like it a lot, and I know I'm redundant with the same song, but it really means something. Sun green, the sun, and I love it. I really like it, and it's a great song because it has a lot of meaning that people that may have heard it before didn't recognize or realize until now, when you finally, if you play into and pay attention to synchronistic things, look, but don't be superstitious or be paranoid or fearful. But when you see something, it's a gift, and if it's a good thing, I mean, like a message or something interesting like that happens with numbers, because I do think that happens, the way of the universe communicating to us, to you. And I think it is important. The negative forces will want to deny it and tell you you're crazy or something, but that's just their opinion. So look out for those, and don't be afraid that think you might see something and scare yourself into it. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. It's very interesting. You'll get like messages and later it will come true somehow. It always works out like that. It's amazing, it really is. But in order to progress with it and get closer to the Most High, you have to let go of your fear, because that will stand in the way. Okay, I'm going to read the poem, the 3rd poem, called Use Your Words. The fear of free will is holding you back. Stop for a second before you attack. You have a God-given right not to follow an order. You could lead every soldier back toward fresh water. Keep back toward fresh water. Keep water fresh. Don't turn it to blood. Leave all your gear in the battlefield mud. Know that you're better than this and that He loves us all. United we stand, divided we fall. It is words and not weapons that will bring peace to all. That's why Yeshua said, how important free speech is. And we have free speech. North Koreans don't have free speech. They get murdered if they read the Bible, which is very, very upsetting, and trauma and fear-based mind control is very, very prevalent there, and I am very upset to see that. But if we all stand together, demand it be stopped, it will. Because one man does not have power over everyone. It will not happen. Because the people need to enable that one man to have the power. Remember, you have a free will choice. Don't fear your free will. And there's a lot of stigma and things out there that create thoughts in your mind that are frightening, because you know you have the capability to do things that you would never do, but you have the capability to do that, and that in itself can scare you. But don't let it scare you. It's for defense. And it's part of being free. But you don't have a right to hurt anyone, like we said. But you do have the capability to. But you wouldn't do it because you have, your thoughts are your thoughts. And you have a choice whether or not you want to engage it. So, that's why, as a chemical imbalance, if you have obsessive compulsive disorder, you really can't differentiate, because the thoughts are so prominent and they keep hitting and hitting and hitting. So there's medication out there that really helps it. But I think also that they've put that in people's heads of that medication is making people zombified, and it's not. It's helping people become unzombified. Why do you think there's generics out there that they deny work, that they deny saying that they're the same as the name brand? Because I believe lots of people are taking this stuff because they're taking the medication, because I believe that people that have creative minds were specific targets, because they had hope and they could come up with things that couldn't be demonized. Come up with things of good and bring good into the world. And they're afraid of that. They're afraid of that. The goddess energy of good. The energy, positive energy of good. It's true. It's part of how the universe works. It's amazing. It really is. And you don't need to fear it. And don't let your fears drive you away. We are all put here to have experiences. And if you're truly sorry about anything that you did, you need to learn to forgive yourself. You're allowed to make a mistake. It's alright. You know, if you have a good heart, you would never hurt anyone intentionally. Yes, I want to get back on the fear subject. In Texas, they have where people can carry guns, and yes, people should have a right to have a gun if they choose, as long as they're not planning on harming somebody that isn't harming them. And I mean harming, not because you thought somebody was scary looking or you were paranoid, because that is another very, very dangerous thing about guns. It's ridiculous. It really, really is. The thing is, they're doing this on purpose. I believe in Texas they allow people to carry larger guns, but they say they're not allowed to carry smaller guns. So you can't have a concealed carry. Therefore, the people that desire to carry have large guns, which is because they're afraid, and they have their guns because they are afraid, and they have fear, and they should be afraid because the horrible, horrendous, the corporations and and corporate-driven government and greed and people that are threatening and Satanists and dark cultists, and like J. Parker said, they are everywhere. Usually they're not going to hurt somebody out in the open because they don't want to be caught or looked at, and that's what they do. They're afraid. They have a lot of fear because they know if the majority wake up to this and say, we are not going to have it, we are not going to serve you anymore, they are in trouble because they will lead the minority, and that is their worst fear. And we will do that. We will come together, and justice will be served because we know the Most High, and He is just. He doesn't scare people or fear or make people afraid. He wants to see us grow up and be brave and use our words. Just like a child screaming and because it wants something. How many times do you think they say, use your words? Because screaming and yelling and acting crazy does not help anything. So come together. Don't be afraid if you need to take medication, because they have all these waves out there that are promoting negative thoughts and frightening things to come upon you that is going to try to crush your spirit. Demand the medication that you need, that you know works for you, and do the great work. Please do it. Okay? Promise me, because it's very important. And I got to go quickly because Ralph's going to get cut off, I bet. Anyway, what I wanted to say was about the fear. That's why I think they have purposely the smaller gun, because they want to frighten. They want the people, those people that are afraid, from their fear, so they carry guns and say it's my right to carry a gun because they're afraid. And then you have the people that see the gun and are afraid too. They're afraid. They fear each other. And that's how they control everyone, with fear. We need to stand up and say, we're not afraid of you, and use the words like a sword. And point them out and call them out on every fallacy they'd make. Because we can see, and you will learn on your journey. You will be able to see through falsity and talk to other people and tell them and try to wake people up and discuss with people. And don't get upset if they don't understand or they don't want to hear it. Don't get mad. Don't get upset. But let them come around, because that is how we learn. And that's why the Creator has stepped back and let us learn. Remember, courage will conquer fear. Like I read before, I'm going to say it again because maybe you haven't seen my videos or this is the first time you're watching us. So I'm going to say that this one poem that is always a great poem. It's called Courage Will Conquer Fear. Death is not the end, and truth is our best friend. We will not let the force of fear hold us back again. When courage breaks fear's chains, we'll grab the horse's reins and charge into the night, turning darkness into light. Lighting up the darkness. In a world that we've always dreamed of, where nobody needs a gun, because there's no fear anymore. We're going to put fear to death. And we're going to catch the fearmongers and call them out on their fear. Now, I was going to mention that a huge fearmonger in the alternative news, which a lot of alternative people have spoken and realized and saw him for what he was. I think he roped in a lot of people, but because they had enough good spirit and sense, they realized that this man is a con man, our con artist, we found that out last night when she was thinking my own master. So that's interesting too. But remember, just because somebody is they may not realize that they're doing it, but sometimes the greed will blind them. It will. They might mean well, but also it doesn't always mean that everything they say is disregarded. That's the thing. Now, I wanted to see what I think happened, and this is an opinion. I don't know for sure. I wasn't there, but sometimes when people meditate, they can do too much at once, and their mind can go a little nuts, and they may start writing crazy things, which is what I think may have happened when the individual that wrote Revelation thought they were writing something down that they needed to write down, because they weren't calm and they were afraid and they scared themselves to death. And I think that fear motivated that through that stupid piece of garbage Marduk, Ra, or whatever, Marduk, Ra, Moon. He will not succeed. We will make sure of it. And I want to also say that you need to let go of your fear, and one alternative news source, which means you shouldn't disregard anyone's information. It is your free will to listen, and I understand that, but this man needs to be set. We need to try. This man, his name is Alex Jones, and he's always constantly promoting fear, and he's selling products that he claims that you need, so you're not, because you need them, and he's making money off of people, scamming them, and it's wrong, and I don't like it. He's very we listened to him for a long time and realized this, because he had a man come on, a doctor, colonist, who claimed that he could cure all these illnesses, and you had to buy the Alex pack, this medication and whatever, vitamins or something like that, to cure every ailment, including muscular dystrophy, which is not true. That doesn't have a cure. We're trying to find a cure for it. It doesn't. And if it does, it's been hidden from us by these pieces of garbage that do hide cures. So there probably is one that they know about that they're not telling us about. And that's why we have to get the truth out there and find out. We need to help people. We need to help people get better. And the Most High will help us through all of it. Now, I better go because it's going to run out of time. And Ralph is probably going to get cut off. I'm sorry about that, Ralph. Don't worry about it. So, if he gets cut off, remember, he will be starting the show next week. Thank you.
Down, she was welded to the eagle's feet.